A minute's silence there to remember the former Eastern Lions coach that sadly passed away this week. Way too young, Jim Williams. Our condolences to everyone involved in the Eastern Lions. And, of course, Jim's family. It's Bryce Ruthven and Oliver Pill tonight, live from Lakeside Stadium for round 2 of NPL Victoria action between South Melbourne with their first home fixture of the new campaign, taking on the Eastern Lions. And Oliver, what are you expecting from this round 2 clash? We've obviously had South Melbourne come off a round 1 win in a derby, and Eastern Lions going down to Bentley Greens at home.
Yeah, I thought South looked really good last week against Heidelberg. Obviously got a scrappy 1-0 win, good goal from Sawyer there to win them that game. But I think Eastern Lions looked quite poor against Bentley Greens. Obviously went 3 down early. So I'm looking for a response for Eastern Lions. Obviously their coach passed away as well, so I'm looking for them to sort of show something here. I still expect South to win though.
Now, we might just check the team lineups as Adam Bavkar does get us underway, our main referee tonight. And Oliver, I'll let you do the honours.
As the game kicks off and underway, now Eastern Lions, they hoof the ball forward, and we'll start with that away side. In goal, they've got number 1, Keegan Coulter. They've got number 4, Will Ellis. Number 5, Sevdin Ismaili. Number 7, Ziggy Rizuki. Number 9, coming into the team, the only change today is Ardi Akmeti. Number 10, we've got Chris Drustas. Number 16, we've got the captain and left-back Sean Kenny. Number 17, Nathan Sim. Number 18, Kostas Stratomitros. Number 23, Aaron Fabris, the second change. And 47, we have got Yanis Georgopoulos as they play the ball around the back here. Eastern Lions looking for a spell of possession, but now over to the home side then. They are unchanged from the side that beat the Heidelberg United Warriors just last week. They've got number 1 in goal is Pierce Clark. Number 4, they have Luke Adams. Number 5, Jake Marshall. Number 8, Luke Pavlo. Number 9, Harrison Sawyer. Number 11, the captain, Brad Norton. Number 13, Henry Hort. Number 14, Josh Wallen. Number 15, Marko Jankovic. Number 22, Daniel Clark. And number 45, Jerry Salidos. So there are your team lineups for both sides this evening.
And 2 very strong sides at Lakeside Stadium tonight, as we see Pavlo come across to the South Melbourne captain, Brad Norton. And South Melbourne last week, I don't know if you watched it, Ollie, but they were very strong against Heidelberg.
Yeah, they were. I think they deserved the win. They played some really good football. It's what you expect. Obviously, a massive, massive club with a fan base, which you can see over on that far side as Eastern Lions look to work the ball forward. Good tackle there from the number 8 for South Melbourne. That's Pavlo. But they've got to deal with a little bit early on the Eastern Lions. But yeah, South Melbourne did look good last week, and Eastern Lions, as I've said, weren't too great. But let's see if they can respond.
And quick apologies too if you can hear myself and Oliver speaking but not see any footage just yet. We'll get that sorted ASAP so you can enjoy the action here, but we will try and keep you updated as Eastern Lions just happy to go against the win this first half. And Jerry Salidos, he's going to be one man that you're going to have to keep an eye on if you're a defender for Eastern Lions tonight, Ollie. Yeah,
I assume so. Obviously, synonymous the headband that he's wearing, but we'll try and call this a little bit like radio until we get the vision up. So a throw-in taken, headed away. Ball breaks down to Salidos on that left-hand side. Look to work the ball forward. Good ball back. It's a lobbed ball into the centre. Unable to control there was Hort. And now Eastern Lions can break forward. Block ball down the line. Play the ball around the back as they look to gain possession. Great work there. Decent challenge. Strong one, but fair according to the referee. As Eastern Lions just keep the ball. We wait for vision. The ball is played laterally now to number 5 Ismaili. Looks for the ball down the line. Not a bad idea, but it's going to carry through to the keeper, Pierce Clark, formerly of Tasman United. In NPL Tasmania, he takes the ball and looks for options and rolls it short. The centre half in Marshall goes back to his goalkeeper and rolls it across to Jankovic, the son of a former Real Madrid player and Red Star Belgrade man in Milan. Bit of 1-2 play from the two of them as we still wait for vision at the moment. Long ball clipped down the line is a poor one, well intercepted from Eastern Lions. It's well into the challenge. It's played back into his defensive half. Attempted switch is not a bad one. Looks to the other right side of his man. Did Chris Drustas. He went down. No foul, but he's won his side of throw, which will be taken from the near side. The ball has been rolled to Sevdim Ismaili, who signed from Dandy Thunder for this season. Dandenong Thunder. A lot of ex-Dandenong Thunder players playing for the Eastern Lions this season. But it's cleared away nicely and taken well from Harrison Sawyer. He loses the ball though. Loses out. Drustas looks to drive. Picks up the ball again. Could be a chance. Drives towards the edge of the box, and it's straight at the goalkeeper, Piers Clark, who goes down well to save.
And Eastern Lions definitely starting off the stronger of the two sides on a pretty wearable pitch. When you do see some footage, and we'll hopefully get that fixed ASAP, they've had an athletics carnival here 2 weeks ago, and the hammer throw and shot putters, and can't forget the discus too, although they were a bit off the pitch, as we do see Eastern Lions go into the 18-yard box and they just take it down to the byline, and a block from Jankovic, and it does remain in play. A very strong back line tonight for South Melbourne. Not too many changes from their win against Heidelberg last weekend at Jack Edwards Reserve. And we'll see Eastern Lions just hold it up on this near touch line. And Bradley Norton with a cheeky little back heel to Salatis, who goes to ground, and it will be a free kick, but it's played on. And the chance to break here for South Melbourne, they do so, and it's a ball out wide to Harrison Sawyer, the target man. And I'll just play it back to Salatos. They go looking for that long ball, and you did mention before, Ollie, a lot of former Dandy Thunder players have made the move across town to Eastern Lions just to give them a bit of a freshen up. They did obviously remain in the campaign coming up as a promoted side before the COVID season last year, but they got a few games under their belt last year and just probably needed a top up of players, and they've got some help from Dandenong player. I don't actually know if it's a bit of a help, but time will tell.
Yeah, definitely will. They've got a lot of Dandy Thunder players. It's well flicked on towards Sawyer. You've got two defenders to contend with. Does well to hold off the first one. Tries to turn. Nice back heel. Salados could be in here. Left-handed to the penalty area. Shot towards goal has gone over. Looks like more of a cross at the moment because the ball has stayed in. Number 13 on that far side is Hoare. He picks the ball up, plays back, and the cross is in towards Sawyer. Won't find him, and it's all the way through and out for an Eastern Lions goal kick. If you want to elaborate on that point just slightly with that Dandenong Thunder, they've got Sevdin Ismaili, who of course we've mentioned. Seni Sajai on the bench this evening. He's also come across from the Thunder. So got a couple. I think there's a few more ex-Dandy Thunder players possibly in there as well. I'll have a look down and see if there is. There's a throw-in on this near side now. Ball will be thrown in by Brad Norton, the left-back, the veteran. He's played a bit of A-League football, had 2 games at Adelaide United way back when. But he's done a lot here. 236 appearances, including that game against Heidelberg. This will be his 237th tonight for South Melbourne. 1 Doherty Cup and 1 Community Shield in that honour roll as well, while in the blue of South Melbourne. Salados goes in, does well to ride the challenge. Ball stays on his left-hand side. Now to Sawyer. He goes back to Jerry Salados. The switch could be on. Instead, maybe the overlap to Norton. It's well telegraphed. And away come Eastern Lions. The ball just won't really roll on this pitch. It holds up. Poor ball across. It's well cut out, and it's played back now to Wallen, formerly of QPR's under-23s. And we now have vision, which is great to see. So not only can you hear us now, you can also watch the game as you're here to do. It's Norton who rolls the ball across. South Melbourne look to keep the ball. It's back with Josh Wallen. Well played forward now to Daniel Clark. And the ball goes out for a throw, and the referee adjudges it to go Eastern Lions' way.
And you can probably finally see pictures of the pitch here that we did speak of moments ago. It's still not in bad condition. It's definitely playable. They had a pitch inspection before the game. As we see Marshall and Jankovic just in the centre of the defence there. Of course, Luke Adams back from injury last weekend, and you've got a back four of Luke Adams, Jake Marshall, Jankovic, and also Norton. It's one of the strongest in NPL Victoria if you are watching a league fixture for the first time tonight. Don't forget you can also comment on our Facebook live stream anytime. We will get to your best comments, other than saying that we can't see footage, which we do apologise for, but all is safe and sound as we go forward in this first half. And it is the opening fixture. We have got quite a lineup tonight, Ollie. There's plenty of other games happening around Melbourne tonight in round 2 of the NPL Victoria.
Yeah, there's 6 games on tonight, including this one. Only Altona and Avondale play tomorrow. As the ball is switched over to his far side, attempted for Drew's telegraph from Salados, and the ball is played back and claimed by Piers Clark in between the sticks tonight for South Melbourne. He rolls it short. South Melbourne just looking to breach this Eastern Lions defence. Obviously, it's only early on. Less than 9 minutes gone. Drewstas picks up the ball. Nice footwork to break away. Needs an option and goes all the way back to safety in Keegan Coulter in goal tonight for Eastern Lions. He rolls it out wide onto that far side in front of the grandstand over there. Plays it down the line on that left wing. Ball rolls out to play, and it's an Eastern Lions ball.
From what we saw last weekend in round one from Eastern Lions against Bentley, might I add, also a very good Bentley Green side, they definitely held their own. It was a very tight game until the later stages, and a lot of people are saying that Eastern Lions were going to be one of the favourite sides to go down to NPL. But look, I think they've recruited quite well this year, and they're definitely going to be holding their own. I think just maybe depth might get them towards the back end of the season.
I mean, quite possibly. Obviously, we did say that they were promoted in 2019. Obviously, Jim Williams was the coach of the year in the NPL 2 East that season, but a bit of an experience in this Eastern Lions side, an NPL level at least. Obviously, last time the two teams met, there's only been 2 official games between the two sides as the ball is switched over to the South Melbourne right. It's taken down nicely on the right-hand edge of the penalty area. Rolled out wide from Henry Hall. Ball whips in. And it's headed away as Eastern Lions look to clear and do so. Not for too long, though. They might not be away from danger for too long as Norton rolls square. Switches the play out wide to the right-hand side now. Ball played forward from the former New Zealand international in Luke Adams. Done well has Henry Hall. He's got Sawyer and Clark in the middle. Salidas at the back post. Can't find either three of them. The Eastern Lions having to weather the storm early on here. It's Sawyer now edge of the box looking for the return ball. Salidas back post. Left-hand edge of the penalty area. He rolls it back. Ball whipped in from Norton. Kept in the air. Clark keeps it alive. Draw back from Hall. Goes back to Adams. Ball in is cleared away from Drustas. And maybe Eastern Lions might be away just for the moment. Wrestled off the ball. It's a free kick. So as I was saying, there's only 2 occasions where these two teams have played in official games. Once in the FFA Cup in 2017, part of South Melbourne's, famous run now to the semi-finals of the FFA Cup, where they were beaten pretty handily here by Sydney FC that year, but they won 2-0 in that game. And last season it was 5-2, a hat-trick for Harrison Sawyer. Goal from 22 tonight. Daniel Clark and also Chris Irwin, who's not in the squad tonight. They got the goals for the home side, and then Rizuki and Losty also got the goals for Eastern Lions, and Losty also got sent off. So an eventful night for him as Drustas looks to control on that right-hand side. It eludes him, and it's out for a South Melbourne throw on this near side.
And you might also notice tonight too, normally on the other side we broadcast from, but you will now see a crowd at South Melbourne games on the Facebook live stream via YouTube, as well as we see Brad Norton look up for Harrison Sawyer, a real figure of the spearhead lineup for South Melbourne, as we see Luke Pavlou just turn the ball over in the middle of the park. Some strong challenges, both sides going fairly, as we see Jankovic with that massive left foot that he's got. It's definitely something to keep an eye out for, the long ball switch from Jankovic. As you see Eastern Lions attracting a free kick in a pretty favourable position, Ollie.
Yeah, Chris Drustas has been a live wire so far, I think, for Eastern Lions. He drew that free kick there. He's one to watch tonight, especially if I haven't watched much NPL football. I think he's the star man for Eastern Lions at the moment. He's definitely looking like it on that right-hand side. He's one that the South Melbourne defence, you've talked about how good it is. They're going to have to monitor him, because although they might be the favourites tonight, South Melbourne, they've got some firepower up the top. Have Eastern Lions, obviously Ziggy Rizuki, we've talked about him. He scored in the game last year in the reverse fixture when these two sides played, but there's a free kick. We've got Rizuki standing over it as well, number 7. Also one other standing over it at the moment for Eastern Lions. It's probably, say, 30 yards out plus, so you wouldn't be expecting a shot. You're expecting it to be whipped in for the Eastern Lions attacking cavalry to have a look at. It's whipped in, left by Rizuki, and it's headed away. Not quite away from danger just yet. Long range effort, and it's well blocked. Shouts for handball, waved away by Adam Babcock. And away can come South Melbourne on a break. It's Salidas on this left-hand side. He rolls the ball forward, and it's a good challenge to prevent Daniel Clark from moving any further forward, and it's out for a South Melbourne throw.
And Daniel Clark is definitely one to keep an eye on as Salidas hits the deck at Lakeside Stadium. He's a very crafty player, and playing off the feet of Harrison Sawyer, the two Queenslanders link up very well in the attacking third for South Melbourne, as we see the Hellas boys just keeping the ball at the back, and Clark with a bit of a flick, looking for that man in Sawyer. And Jake Marshall, very strong header. And Eastern Lions have to deal with it on this occasion. I'll just play a ball long and it gives South Melbourne a chance just to regroup. It also gives to the crowd to slightly build up tonight. The social rooms here, as always, very busy on an untraditional Friday night home fixture. A lot of their games this year are going to be on a Friday night in this time slot. Normally Sunday afternoon specialists here at Lakeside Stadium. I'm sure the players will be much happy with that because sometimes that sun here coming off the city, going over the West Gate, it can be a bit of a pain to deal with.
As it can, and I think as a player, you've got to love the Friday night fixtures. Prime time, I would say prime time. It is pretty prime time, but usually there's only the one game in this slot, and tonight there's 6 on Friday night. Obviously varying times, but even still. But you've got to love a Friday night as a player. As on the left-hand side now is Norton with the throw. He takes it now left-hand edge of the penalty area. He'll receive the ball back and lobs one in. Clark's unable to win it down, and maybe they can break now Eastern Lions through Rizuki, born in England. Now out here with the Eastern Lions, he draws a free kick, which will be taken in that fullback area for Eastern Lions. Be interesting to see how they go tonight. As we've said, ball is attempted to be switched. Norton will cut that one off and nod it back to his goalkeeper, Pierce Clark, who chests down. He was also he was at Dandenong City, so we talked a lot about Dandenong Thunder tonight. Their arch rivals employed the South Melbourne goalkeeper a time ago, but now he's in the blue of South Melbourne, obviously not wearing blue, as of course that would cause confusion, but he's in all green and he's at one of the biggest clubs in the country, you'd sense, especially outside of the A-League. Can he stop the Eastern Lions advances so far? Sawyer tries a shot, a bit audacious, but heaved away. It's well controlled from Adams, and he plays a ball which is out now for a throw, which he takes long down the line. Chested down away from Hoare, hooked away once more towards the front man who can't quite win the ball. And back once again to Clark, who's quite a way advanced outside his penalty area. He now rolls it short. Jankovic looks to switch it out wide. Will it elude Henry Hoare? No, it won't. He keeps it in. And they're keeping a lot of possession early on, South Melbourne.
It is the game plan of the Men in Blue this year. Definitely going from that long ball game to keeping possession under Esteban. Giving his own flavour to the South Melbourne side as we see Jankovic just go long, looking to put Harrison Sawyer in. There's a lot of Queenslanders in this lineup this year, as we do see one of them just locking the ball in the corner here. Comes back to Saladas with a great ball into Daniel Clark, who tries to cut it across and just slips over on this pitch. It is a bit firm from a recent athletics event. And Norton goes in central for Pavlu. The two of them linking up well. Of course, Pavlu coming back from Oakley Cannons, where he spent one season, and Daniel Clark just takes a heavy touch on this occasion. He'll get it back again for Sawyer. Can't get it through this time, but a lot of pinball on the edge of the 18-yard box for South, and they do well to keep it. And it goes out wide to last year's assistant coach in Adams, who does send the ball to the edge of the box. It comes out for Norton. They're happy to settle down with Marko Jankovic. Norton just coming a bit central this time, finding Clark in the middle. He's got a bit of room to work with and does send the ball out into space for Luke Adams. It should be a first-time ball. And can't beat that first line of defence, but it is still active on the edge of the 18-yard box. South doing very well here to push Eastern Lions back and create some space, and it was a feature last week as we do see a poor turnover in at the middle of the park for South Melbourne. Does give the chance for Eastern Lions to have an early attempt, and just a bit of a shank this time around, Ollie.
Yeah, it's Ardiak Meti, one of the couple of changes tonight. He won't be happy with that one. You just saw it bobble a little bit, but that's no excuse. It's well wide. It was an audacious effort anyway, probably 25 yards out. Would have done well to test the keeper there, as Pierce Clark just watched it well wide. South Melbourne look just to retain possession here for the moment. It's Clark who lofts that one up forward, looking towards Harrison Sawyer, who somehow gets a head on it. Last year, during the Victorian shutdown, he played for the Gold Coast Knights, and before that he spent some time in the Philippines with Davao Aguias, and before that, or around that time as well, Taipo in Hong Kong. I think he went Hong Kong and the Philippines as well, and also had some time with the Newcastle Jets as well, Harrison Sawyer, so well travelled. Can he show his pedigree out here at Lakeside Stadium? As Adam Babcock goes over that far side. Just resolving a slight little bit of conflict. And they've got a throw on that far side of South Melbourne, which is thrown back. And just they're looking to keep the ball. It's a feature, perhaps, of this new regime here at South Melbourne under Esteban Quintas. Replaced Con Tangaliakis for season 2020. Lofted the ball forward now towards Sawyer, who looks to chase, and it's played out for a South Melbourne throw, which will be taken quite advanced in their attacking half on this left-hand side. Just under 20 minutes gone, it's thrown short, and Norton receives the ball back. It's played now across. He does well to control that, Jake Marshall. Took his time. Rolls it back now once more to Clark. We've called his name a lot, Piers Clark, at the moment, despite the fact he's not had to make any saves. Norton once again goes back now to the number 8 in Pavlo. Lofted the ball forward towards Sawyer, who flicks it on for Salidos. He's on this left-hand side. Tries to win it down. That's a great piece of defending to thwart his advances. And away come Eastern Lions. Drew Stas goes back. Lofted forward from the number 23 in James Doyle, who makes his return to the starting lineup tonight. He used to play for the Bentley Greens, moved to Eastern Lions for the 2018 season. It's 42nd game tonight for the Eastern Lions.
And as Ollie did mention, a lot of plays during the COVID shutdown last year with NPL Victoria did make their way interstate to Newcastle and to Adelaide and also to Queensland as well. A lot of these South Melbourne players did get a full season under their belt, so it was one of the big talking points of last weekend's round 1 fixtures, the conditioning of all the players and how each side would adapt to a different pre-season or a real prolonged pre-season. And South Melbourne definitely seeing the benefit of the majority of their players getting some minutes out on loan last year in the NPL Queensland. Don't forget, too, your comments. You can get them through on the Facebook live stream, also through YouTube as well. We will visit your best comments throughout the evening as we see Brad Norton go long, finding the head of Daniel Clark for South Melbourne. And Clark will take this down to the byline, wearing number 22 tonight, and it will be a corner. The first of the evening for South Melbourne, as we hear the South fans find their voice. You might be able to see on the pictures when you do see the grandstand, a lot of spectators up high tonight. It is a bit of a chilly night. There is a bit of a breeze coming down the pitch, favouring the Eastern Lions in this first half. As we can see, Daniel Clark preparing to take this corner on your broadcast side at Lakeside, and the ball does come in, and he's put it over the back line. So the first corner of the night, Ollie, not the best from Clark.
No, it wasn't a great ball. The ball in before that brought about the corner was a decent one, well cleared away. It was a free kick given from the linesman on that far side. And it's going to be taken now by Keegan Coulter, who is in the Eastern Lions goal. He was on the books at Melbourne Victory in 2014, never made a league appearance for the A-League Giants. He was at South Melbourne as well at one point in time, also at Box Hill United and Oakley. He lobs it forward, up towards that Metu, who can't win it down. Strong header forward from the number 15 for South Melbourne, being Jankovic. Talked about his esteemed footballing pedigree is Salidos. He's now switched wings over to the right. Tries to do a little bit of a kick and rush past his opponent there, but he can only take it out for an Eastern Lions throw.
And possession so far in his first half, we have had just over 23 minutes played at Lakeside Stadium. Fairly even, both sides getting an early chance if you have just joined us. The pitch, not in the greatest conditions, as we are used to seeing the carpet rolled out at Lakeside Stadium, an athletics event 2 weeks ago, causing a bit of havoc, but the ground staff have done a good job of getting it playable for tonight. As we see the ball come back to Jankovic, and he's happy just to settle it down to Clark. I'll keep it short to Jake Marshall. Clark just slowing things down. It goes back to Marshall. You'll find Luke Adams. And South Melbourne in no rush here to get the ball forward. And the Eastern Lions just getting a slight sniff of an attacking changeover, and the ball does get lost on this occasion. Hall has switched wings on this left-hand side now, and some great body work there from Eastern Lions in the middle of the park. But Jankovic does well to clean it up and send the ball home to Clark. Don't forget too, there is plenty of other NPL action on tonight. A lot of games starting in a not too distant future. About 8:15 kickoff for a lot of games. We'll keep you updated on those scores as we do with this one here, as we see a free kick for the Lions and the first yellow card of the evening going to Josh Whalen. In a pretty comfortable position for South Melbourne, but look, an early yellow card for a holding midfielder. It's always a tough game to play that out.
It is, and it was a yellow card as well. You know, scythed him down. Wasn't a challenge he perhaps needed to make. But yeah, as you say, an early yellow card for a defensive midfielder is not what you want to see. They might look to attack him now, as we've got a free kick just right of centre here, Eastern Lions. Again, they might look to whip this one in, as they did previously. Slightly further back from that one. It was taken. Similar area, though. Can they profit from this set piece? It's going to be whipped in high. Clark should claim. Instead, he decides to punch, and it'll go out for an Eastern Lions corner. It'll be their first of the night from that far side. As Rizuki goes over to take it. Two centre-halves back at the moment. You've sort of got one just in front, and then everyone else around that box as it's whipped in from Rizuki from that left-hand side. Headed away. Clear by the first man. Well controlled. And it breaks kindly. Shot on goal! Oh, it's flying in! That's an absolute belter! And Eastern Lions, it's been a torrid week for the football club. Losing their coach from last season. But what a strike that is! Their first goal of this match here. The second for their season. Yanis Georgopoulos with an absolute screamer. And Eastern Lions take a shock lead here at Lakeside.
And that was one hell of a screamer, Ollie. You've scored it brilliantly, because a bit of a shot out of nothing, and it ended up in the back of the left-hand side of the net for Georgopoulos, as we do see the goalkeeper for Eastern Lions is down at the moment. But 26 minutes played, and the score is 1-0 in favour of the away side. And Esteban, the coach of South Melbourne, just moments ago on that corner, wasn't happy with the marking, and I can guarantee you now, Ollie, he's not going to be happy with that, because let's be fair, there's not too much that Pierce Clark could have done about that shot. It was an absolute bullet.
And like I said before, we've called his name a lot, but he hasn't had to do a lot. Well, the first real action he's had to do of note is pick the ball out the back of his net. And that is an absolute belter of a strike from Yanis Georgopoulos, only the second goal of the season for Eastern Lions. They went down 3-1 tamely to Bentley Greens last night, but there was nothing tame about that strike there. An absolute screamer. I'm sure we'll be talking about that for years to come.
And there's not too many better scenes to do it in football. Victorian Lakeside Stadium does host the opening fixture of round 2, and Georgopoulos with an absolute screamer, as we do see Keegan Coulter just down in the middle of the park here for Eastern Lions, holding his hamstring. Hopefully he's okay, just receiving some treatment, and he will retrieve back to his goal. And the score, if you have just joined us, an absolute screamer. One to watch back in the highlights reel after the game's complete. To Georgopoulos, it is 1-0 in favour of the Eastern Lions. It's been a big week for them, a sad week for the club too, and no shortage of motivation tonight for their old coach, sadly passing away the other day. You see Brad Norton go long, searching for the big target man in Harrison Sawyer, and does find ahead of him, and Daniel Clark applying the pressure, and it will be the second corner of the evening for South Melbourne, a chance for their tall timber at the back to come up. Now, this is going to be interesting, Ollie, because the back line for South Melbourne has all come up, and there is a lot of height in the back men for the Hellas.
Yeah, there is. They've just got to hold firm here, Eastern Lions. They nearly were breached straight after scoring, straight after going 1-0 up. They nearly conceded, but was well defended now for a corner on this left-hand side. This near side for Clark. Whips it in. Oh, free header. Should do better, but manages to flick it on. But you'd think there, with the amount of time that he had, you'd think he'd direct that towards goal instead of putting it back in the mixer. But Clark now has the ball. He looks to switch out wide to the other Clark, number 22, who does well to keep the ball on his left-hand side. Breaks into the 18-yard box. Pulls across goal. Surely it had to be. And somehow It looked unmissable, but somehow he's missed. Harrison Sawyer nearly scored his second goal for the season, and that looks easier to score than to miss.
Oh, Harrison Sawyer, he won't be happy watching that one back in the highlights because basically had an open goal to contend with. Coulter coming out at his near post and completely missing the ball across from Daniel Clark, and the first real proper chance for South Melbourne goes begging in the 29th minute. As you see Coulter go long, finding the shoulder of Jankovic. And there's a bit of a buzz in this game now, and it will be a free kick for the challenge on Harrison Sawyer. And if there's one thing you need to fire up South Melbourne at Lakeside Stadium, it's copying an early goal. And the Lions are a brave side, Ollie, because they've gone 1-0 up and they have to brave the storm that's coming from South Melbourne.
I mean, yes, they will, and it's gone up a notch this game after that goal. It was a cagey start to the game, and that strike from Yannis Georgopoulos has really woken the game up, and South Melbourne all of a sudden have got to respond. We've just crossed the half-hour mark in this game. 30 minutes gone here at Lakeside, and South Melbourne are a goal down to Eastern Lions thanks to that insane Yannis Georgopoulos strike. Number 47 for Eastern Lions, getting the solitary goal so far, but Daniel Clark would want to do something about that. He's got a free kick on this left-hand side. He whips the ball in towards the back post. Header on goal. Has gone out for a South Melbourne corner on the far side, which Daniel Clark will go over to take.
Yeah, the Eastern Line defence claiming for a goal kick, but clearly off the shoulders of Eastern Lions, and it will be Clark to whip this ball in on his favoured right-hand side, whipping the ball into the penalty spot, no doubt. And the ball comes in, goes to the back post, and there should be a free header. Norton and Harrison missing it on this occasion. Ball comes back to Luke Pavlou with a great little ball into Jankovic, who slips, taking a touch. And it'll give Eastern Lions just that bit of space, and a very heavy challenge from Brad Norton. And he's not too happy with it as well, but it was definitely a strong challenge, and a bit of afters here on the broadcast side. And the Eastern Lions player has stayed down. Look, he was attempting to play the ball, but at the same time, Ollie, he did completely collect the player.
He did, just that. It was a very firm challenge, wasn't it, from the captain, Brad Norton. The Eastern Lions player has got up at the moment, and a yellow card has been shown for a bit of a reaction there. That's gone to number 16 for Eastern Lions. That being the other left-back, and the other captain, Sean Kenny, has been shown a yellow card after the challenge, but it was a tough challenge in there from Norton, went flying in, and it probably deserved a yellow card. So now 3 yellow cards in this game.
Definitely a lot of feeling in this game now that Eastern Lions have gone up 1-0. Brad Norton, a very proud South Melbourne captain, trying to show some leadership. Probably not the right way about it this occasion. As you see, Eastern happy just to keep the ball at the back here. And they'll work their way across. They go for that long searching ball. Probably not the right ball to play, Ollie, to a very tall backline like South Melbourne do have. As we see Jankovic go down holding his face, and the South player is not too happy on this occasion. And Adam Bavkar's just going to check on the welfare of Jankovic. Seems to be all right. He goes across to Jake Marshall. He's just mucking around with the ball a little bit too much and escapes the Eastern Lions striker on this occasion. Comes back to Jankovic. And South happy to keep the ball, get some possession. It goes long looking for Salados. They can't find him. Slip in the middle. Comes out to Hoare. And the ball turned over, and Eastern Lions playing a very sensible brand of football tonight. They can really sense when they've got the opportunity, as we do stay with South here, because they've got an opportunity themselves. Clark gets a ball across the middle. Can't beat that near post. And the same thing again here, Ollie. They're being very sensible. They're really recognising their chance to go forward, but also when they are being blocked by South Melbourne, they're going back and being quite comfortable with holding possession.
We'll say the defending has looked decent. I've seen a couple of occasions though where, especially with the Harrison Sawyer missing the chance past that Keegan Coulter looks a little bit shaky for mine in between the sticks for Eastern Lions at the moment. He hasn't had much to do either. for being honest, in the way of saves. There's a nice little bit of interplay on this left-hand side. Might well be cut out. He does well to move across, does Luke Pavlo. Ball's cleared out of play for an Eastern Lions ball on that far side. Away from the broadcast, but yeah, they've defended quite staunchly early on. There's been a bit of a rear guard that South Melbourne haven't yet been able to breach. You'd sense there'd be a few more chances in the remainder of this game. There's a lot of football to be played tonight.
Comment from Con on the live stream saying it's going to be a long season. Guessing being a South Melbourne fan. Well, I have to disagree. They had a great win last week over a very strong Heidelberg side and did look very good. It's early days in this fixture, but I think it's one of those things that this campaign, above others, will really take a long time for teams to settle into a bit of rhythm. We've got to remember there's been no football for close to 12 months for the majority of these players.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of an overreaction, if I'm being honest with you, after one goal. Obviously, like I say, there's a lot of time to go in this game, so if you are a South Melbourne fan, there's a lot of hope that you can still get back into this one. So I probably wouldn't share the views that it's going to be a long season, but it's never great to go a goal down, especially to a team at home, which you expect to beat. But there's a free kick on this left-hand side for Eastern Lions, a bit of tall timber there in there as well, namely James Doyle, number 23, at the back post. Can he get on the end of this one, perhaps, or any of the Eastern Lions attackers? There's only a few in the box. 3 in the box at the moment. It's whipped in from that left-hand side. There's a fourth in there as well that I missed out, but it's eluded all 4 of them in the middle, and it's out for a South Melbourne goal kick.
And that free kick on that far side in front of the fans. Just a bit too heavy on this occasion. The wind probably playing a bit of a factor as well. Is quite a strong wind coming across Lakeside Stadium from the backs of the Eastern Lions. As you see, Salados looking for a ball over the top, trying to find Harrison Sawyer. And Pavlu will bring this one down. Clark slides in. Comes out to Adams, who goes searching again for Harrison Sawyer. And Eastern Lions just put the ball up into the night sky. Comes down, Hoare, trying to deal with this one. And he can't on this occasion. And Eastern Lions just looking a bit unsettled at the moment. Giving South Melbourne a chance just to get some possession in their defensive half. And Salados just playing it short. Pavlu trying to find Clark with a heavy touch. Luke Adams seems to have recovered quite well from a knee injury that kept him out of last year's campaign. See Brad Norton finding Hoare. Playing in the captain again. He'll get the ball across, and this time it's a very heavy ball to the back post, and Clark will do very well to keep this one in. And he does, but I dare say we'll see a free kick. No, we won't. Will be a throw in for the Eastern Lions.
It was a good bit of play down this left-hand side for South Melbourne. It was a wasteful cross, though. Too much on it. And it, obviously on that far side, it's now an Eastern Lions throw, but good bit of interplay on this left-hand side that they might look to use later on in the game as they've won the ball back. It's now Sawyer just well to hold the ball up. Looking to find him again with a reverse ball, but was unable to do so. Well, one in the header from Wallen. Ball clipped down the line. He's done well to hold the ball up there. Hazak Mehti going towards the left-hand side, but it's out of play for a South Melbourne throw.
Plenty of football action across your live stream platforms on Facebook and YouTube this weekend. Keep you updated on the other matches that are happening tonight. Plenty of football, including this game between South Melbourne and the Eastern Lions. We've also got the 39th minute at Knights Stadium. Melbourne Knights currently up 1-0. Courtesy of an 8th minute goal to Webb. Did call the game last weekend between Melbourne Knights, looking very strong this year. They have recruited quite well. We've also got Green Gully and Hume City underway over there at Gully Reserve. We've got Bentley Greens taking on Port Melbourne. Kicking off in 5 minutes, plus the Oakley Cannons in Heidelberg. Dandenong City in St Albans. And then tomorrow afternoon at Paisley Park, Altona Magic taking on Avondale, who looked very strong last week, Ollie, with a come from behind win over Oakley Cannon. Some calling that game last week, the grand final preview, and Avondale looking very strong.
Yeah, there definitely could be two sides that are up there. Obviously, it was a late flurry, wasn't it? 2 late goals. It looked like they would come out of that game with no points in the bag, and they left with all 3. So quick it happened, a couple of goals in as many minutes, and they took all 3 points away from that game out of nothing, really. So maybe they're one to watch this season. That's now a goal kick for South Melbourne. Their fans haven't been able to see a game here at Lakeside for a long while due to the coronavirus pandemic, but they're back here now, and they're, dare say, a little bit disappointed with what they've seen so far. Their beloved South Melbourne, a goal down thanks to that wonderful strike. They've got time to get back into it. He's done well. Great footwork from the goalkeeper. The ball back from Jankovic wasn't the best, but Pierce Clark did well to control, get it into his path, and he's kept the ball away from the Eastern Lions attackers there. They've now got the ball back of Eastern Lions, but not for too long. As a header from a South Melbourne man goes out of play, and it's Eastern Lions ball on that far side.
And as we hear the voice, or the voices of the South Melbourne fans here at Lakeside, something else to keep an eye on tonight in the Dandenong City game is the Dandenong City coach, Sasha Ovganovsky. Normally doesn't need a microphone, but he'll be mic'd up, as Michael Zapponi calls that one, with Gary Cole from Dandenong. 8:30 kickoff, so after we finish here at Lakeside, jump across and watch that game as well, because it is a new feature for some of the games this year in NPL Victoria live streams, miking up the coaches and potentially even miking up the referees. That in itself would be very interesting, Ollie. So we'll see how that goes in the weeks forward. There's a strong challenge there from Hoare in the middle of the park. Finds Pavlu, turns away into space. Receives the ball again from Norton, goes back to Jankovic. And Jankovic just overstepping it, and he's not too happy as he puts the ball into the camera side here. And it gives Eastern Lions a chance just to get a late attack on goal in the 41st minute.
4 minutes to go, approximately, in this first half. Still, South Melbourne 0, Eastern Lions 1. Eastern Lions have got a throw in, which is taken down the line from Sevdim Ismaili. He's done well to hold the ball up on that right-hand side, but couple of challenges and they emerge with the ball. It was the goal scorer George Opolos who went down under the pressure, but no foul according to Adam Babka. And there's a throw here for the visitors, who will be more than content with how this first half has gone so far. Ismaili with the throw. Throws it forward, chested down, well won to Akmeti. They've done well to keep the ball. Drustas loses it, though, with a heavy touch. Great bit of skill from number 13, Henry Hoare. And he's side down, and that should be a booking, you'd sense. It was an enterprising run, and it was terminated. And a yellow card. Henry Hoare spots the ball down and looks to take it quickly, but will be prevented on doing so. And that yellow card will be shown.
Yeah, and Eastern Lions being very smart there with a bit of sportsmanship. Just standing in front of the ball, not with one player, but 4. Just trying to convince Adam Bavkar to reverse his decision. But I tell you what, haven't seen a referee, especially Bavkar, turn over a decision. He's one of the best referees floating around Melbourne. Does get involved with the A-League as well. So, got a very experienced whistleblower tonight in charge of the game at Lakeside. And it will be Salados to put this ball in. .43 minutes played. Adam Bavkar just settling things down on the edge of the 18-yard box. The ball comes in, falls short. Pavlu sends it back out to Salados. Does well to keep that in. Goes inside. Puts the ball in again, looking for Sawyer. Can find the head. Coulter doesn't collect it. And Eastern Lions not completely out of danger just yet. And a bit of a shaky moment there for Keegan Coulter. The South Melbourne fans finding some voice late in this first half. They can sense a goal. The ball comes in from Luke Adam. And Slatus on the edge. Will just pat the ball down, does very well with some footwork, and a great ball across for Hoare. Goes to ground, and Bavkar does give a corner. one of the last opportunities of the first half.
Yeah, there's definitely no penalty there. That is a brilliant challenge. Looking to get in behind that back line, and that is exactly what you want from your defence. An absolutely stunning sliding challenge to divert that out for a corner. A few shouts for a penalty, but I think even the most optimistic South fan wouldn't be truly believing that they'd get a spot kick there as the corner's whipped in from that left-hand side. Header on goal. It hits the crossbar, and that dipped ever close to an equaliser. Possibly a little bit closer than Keegan Coulter would have wanted. But that goal's living a charmed life at the moment for Eastern Lions.
I was going to say, Ollie, there was a lot of confusion of who was to put their head on that ball, but it worked out well in the end, and it did hit the top of the crossbar, and it is a goal kick for Eastern Lions. We probably will see a little bit of stoppage time added in this first half. So Jankovic going with a strong challenge. Riziku playing it forward. And to ground, and it should be the 5th free kick of the evening for Eastern Lions in a very dangerous spot at a very dangerous part of the game, as we do see 2 minutes of time added on from the 4th official. And I'm sure the Eastern Lions fans will be very happy with a late goal and going into the sheds with a 2-0 scoreline in their favour. It's definitely not an easy place to come and play at Lakeside Stadium against South. Particularly the first home fixture of a new campaign when they've had no football here. The Hellas fans for 12 months. And going to take a guess and say this will be Rizuku on the ball. He's known for his set pieces. A very tall wall has been set by Clark. And Adam Bafkar gets underway. And Rizuki will hit this one. He'll go short. And a great save from Clark. That was going top right corner with the wind, and Rizuki with a great set piece.
He said he's known for his set pieces, and that was nearly an absolute gem to double Eastern Lions lead. Kept out by a stunning save from Pierce Clark, who keeps this game at 1-0. That's what you want from your goalkeeper. He's been a bit tentative, if you will, been a bit shaky, has Keegan Coulter, but there's none of that shown by his opposite number in the South Melbourne goal. Ball whipped in, punched away from Clark, whipped back in, and it's Horu chests down, edge of the box, looping shot towards goal is well off target, and out for a goal kick as we approach the half-time whistle here, just under 20 seconds to go in this first half, and it's all about that strike from Yanis Georgopoulos, the former Dandenong Thunder and Bentley Greens man, also at Oakley Cannons as well. An absolute screamer as the referee checks his watch and decides that is enough for the first half. And Eastern Lions are shocking the NPL Victoria world here. A few boos from the Hellas fans on that far side. They're not happy with what they've seen the first game here in about a year. And it's all about that strike from Yanis Georgopoulos outside the box. An absolute screamer that beat Pierce Clark. He's not had many saves to make, but there was no way he was saving that one. So half-time here at Lakeside Stadium. It's South Melbourne 0, Eastern Lions 1.
Back here for the second half at Lakeside Stadium. It's Bryce Ruthven and Ollie Pill. The Eastern Lions currently lead the South Melbourne side 1-0, and it was a wonderful goal to Eastern Lions. Definitely worth checking out at the end of this game. We'll see an early chance here for South, and also a replacement at half-time too for South Melbourne.
It surprised me as the ball's whipped in left-hand side towards Sawyer, who went on it. Couldn't quite get a header on the end of it, though, as they look to reload their attack out wide towards Clark, who keeps it in play, but not for long, chests it out. So Jerry Salados is the man who's been taken off, who I thought did okay for South Melbourne. And Zach Bates has been brought on to replace him, number 20, who has spent time on the books at Melbourne City. Also played at South Melbourne, made 24 appearances for them over a couple of seasons. It may well have just been one solitary season and a couple of games in the FFA Cup. But he's on, and he's got to look to bring a little bit of impetus to the attackers. They're on the edge of the box here, South Melbourne. Look to create an attack. It's out wide towards Clark on the right-hand edge of the penalty area. Whips it in central, cleared away. Had a couple of bites at the cherry at doing so. Rizuki got the final touch on it. Chipped wide. Great switch of play from Clark. First time ball in. Wasn't a great one. It's out of play behind for an Eastern Lions goal kick. So he's got the ball as Keegan Coulter, who looked slightly shaky. Didn't have too much to do, though, in that Eastern Lions goal. He'll look to send this one forward for the away side. He does so. Just about can't clear the halfway line. It's out on that far side for a throw to the away side. In red shirts, red shorts and red socks, South Melbourne in their traditional all blue. As it's Pavlo who rolls out one square for South Melbourne. Looking just to keep the ball here. Out wide to Adams. He goes back, looking for safety in his centre half, who just lost that one forward. Flicked on nicely from Bates. Sawyer could be in. 1-on-1! And he's equalised for South Melbourne. 2-2 for Harrison Sawyer. And the former A-League talisman shows his worth in NPL. And the first goal in front of the Hellas fans. They're a massive supporter base. And you can just hear them in the background. Absolutely loving that goal. 2-2 for Harrison Sawyer. It was a nice finish. Great work from the substitute, Zach Bates, to flick it onto him. It was a 1-on-1. Keegan Coulter rushed off his line. And Sawyer just knocked it past him. And parity is restored. 1-1.
And a great first-time touch from Harrison Sawyer. You come to expect that from the big man up front. The Queenslander loves a goal here at Lakeside. He's got his first on the home deck for 2021. Don't forget, you can get your comments coming through the Facebook live stream and also YouTube as well. We'll visit the best ones throughout the night as we see a free kick in front of our commentary position. And it was really a case of Eastern Lions being undone and just called ball watching there, Ollie. Obviously, you need to really get tight to a player like Harrison Sawyer, and on this occasion, they just weren't up to the task.
No, they weren't. It was a good bit of work, as I said, from Zach Bates, a substitute. I questioned it initially. I was a bit surprised that Jerry Salados was being subbed off, as there's a bit of an injury worry for Eastern Lions at the moment. So the score is now South Melbourne 1, Eastern Lions 1. But as you say, good flick on and a very tidy finish as well from Harrison Sawyer. Just poked at that one a little bit before the onrushing Coulter could close it down. But parity restored, and the Hellas fans a lot happier than they were at half-time.
It was interesting too, we wouldn't have seen it on the footage, but when Harrison Sawyer did score the goal for South Melbourne, a lot of the South defenders were screaming at Adam Bavkar. Went up to him claiming a handball outside the box from Coulter. I don't really recall seeing him come outside the 18-yard box with a handball. They're saying it should be sent off, and look, it's 1-1, and I think the scoreboard's all that matters. Adam Bavkar is a very established referee in the NPL Victoria. And we've just been told as well that the coverage at the moment is down, so apology if you have missed this goal. You can catch up with all the action at Lakeside Stadium at the end of the 90 minutes with the highlights package tomorrow morning as well. As we see South Melbourne just trying to keep possession, and Luke Pavlou going long. Comes back to Yankovic. Marshall. Just a bit of aerial ping pong at the moment. And it is a little bit surprising too that the deck here at Lakeside a little bit bumpy because of an athletics kind of ball. It hasn't had too much of an effect as we see a corner for South Melbourne. Their first of the second half, right in front of their home fans. And Adam Bavkar's changed his mind. It is a throw-in. Norton to put this one in as we have coverage back up on our screens. And Pavlo just leaves this one for Marshall to deal with. Looking for Rizuki on this near touch side, and it comes across, finds Norton in some space to go forward. He'll go searching for Bates, and it will be a throw-in.
Back with the footage, over 6 minutes gone in the second half. The score now, South Melbourne 1. Eastern Lions 1 after that Harrison Sawyer strike cancelled out that earlier effort from Yanis Georgopoulos. South fans up and about early on in the second period as Norton is unable to keep that one in play. It's out for a throw-in on that far side. Adam Bavkar, the referee, whistles, but the ball is now in the hands just forward of that halfway line in an attacking sense for the Eastern Lions. Throw goes down the line. Well worked from Akhmeti, who's been quiet so far. He's won the ball fairly, says the referee. He looks to roll it square. Cut out. Nice little back heel from the substitute in Bates, who keeps running. It's out wide to Adams, who's now playing a bit of a full-back role. Clark's deeper. Looks to whip it in. Tantalising ball. And he nearly got on the end of it. Harrison Sawyer, he's the danger man in this second half. He's already got himself on the score sheet and nearly doubled his and South Melbourne's money in terms of goals and nearly put them 2-1 up.
Some great play by South Melbourne, definitely looking threatening going forward. As you see the ball just come in front of this commentary position. And Daniel Clark, he'll go central and he'll play the ball across to Hall, who is caught waiting on his feet. Eastern Lions regaining some possession. And as we say, they do turn it over and just go long. And Luke Adams with some room to go forward finds Clark. Definitely the man pulling the strings in the attacking third for South Melbourne at the moment. Ball through for Sawyer. He'll bring this one down well and he'll put the ball across. And it will come across to Bates. And Hoare does quite well on that far side to get the ball across. Danger not done yet. Daniel Clark brings it down, goes inside, has a shot. It's blocked by the Lions. Still in play. Josh Whalen trying to get the ball off in the middle. And Lions do well just to get it out of danger, and now in a good position with the ball forward. And an early strike, and it goes wide for the striker for Eastern Lions.
Yeah, that's like Akhmeti. I think he'll be a bit frustrated because he's been quiet. He's come back into the starting 11 tonight for the away side, and he hasn't really had much change. Just a long-range effort that was never really going to trouble Pierce Clark, as a long ball forward towards Sawyer. The target man won't reach him. It's well defended to chest that down. And away move the Eastern Lions. Rizuki is on that left-hand side, but he's ignored by Will Ellis. Well cut out this time from Adams, the former New Zealand international. Had 5 caps for the All Whites and 117th appearance tonight for South Melbourne. Adams looks to play the ball across and does so. Found its way to Yankovic, who receives it back now. Looks for the long ball forward to that left-hand side. It's cut out and it's out for a throw-in on that far side. The ball is with Brad Norton, who is on a yellow card. Ball ricochets out of play, and for an Eastern Lions throw. Ball just juggled there from Sevdim Ismaili, who will take the throw for the away side. Attempted flick on, didn't come to fruition. The ball goes towards that corner. Play for Eastern Lions goes down, and the referee decides to call a free kick and distribute a yellow card as well to Harrison Sawyer, to the disapproval of the South Melbourne fans. They were unsure that there was anything in that, but a free kick is given and a yellow card distributed to the goal scorer.
Adam Bavkar awarding it for an elbow, apparently from Harrison Sawyer running through. So, a bit hard for us to see from this distance, but maybe you saw it on the live stream. Don't forget to keep your comments coming through the Facebook and YouTube live stream. We'll visit your comments throughout the evening. Something on crowd numbers tonight. I'm going to say probably up towards the 400-500. Probably a good guess on a Friday night here in Albert Park. One of the boutique venues of Victorian football. To see Josh Whalen go out wide for Hoare, who comes out wide and find Bates. And Bates just turns it over, slides in, late challenge, and Adam Bavkar does award it for the Eastern Lions. "57 minutes played at Lakeside Stadium. It is one apiece. A great strike in the first half for Eastern Lions. If you've just joined us, took them into the halftime break 1-0, but Harrison Sawyer with a great first touch to bring his side back to 1-1. As we see Daniel Clark on the edge of the 18-yard box. Whalen sends it wide. And this time it's Bates on the receiving end of a free kick. It's in a good position for South Melbourne, and they'll send their very tall back line forward. Some real attacking options here on the set piece for South Melbourne. Daniel Clark on the free kick. Adam Bavkar just sitting at the 10 yards required. And the South Melbourne fans in the background building in anticipation. We've got Sawyer and Jankovic at the back post, and that's where the ball does go. Finds the head of a South Melbourne player, but this time over the crossbar for a goal kick.
And Eastern Lions are to make their first alteration in tonight's proceedings. Going off is number 5, Sevdim Ismaili, and coming on is the goal scorer from last weekend's the Bentley Greens, Aaron Fabris. Very tidy finish, by the way, last week. It was a consolation goal in that game, but he scored what coming into tonight was Eastern Lions' only goal for the season. Of course, now that's been made to 2 goals after that Georgopoulos strike, but a chance now for Aaron Fabris to build on a bit of momentum from last week.
Replacing number 5, Sevdim Ismaili.
As the play down there under the Bates tackle, he springs back up after awarding the free kick.
And Zach Bates is going to be pretty careful here because he's already on a yellow card that was issued literally about 5 minutes ago, and he came on at half time, so it could be a very quick shower for Bates if he's on the same trajectory, giving away set pieces and free kicks. So let's keep an eye on Zach Bates. I'm sure Esteban, the coach of South Melbourne too, will just be having a quiet chat in the ear of his left winger, just telling him to sort of keep calm for a bit. And Sawyer brings this one down. Norton. And the South Melbourne fans very happy with that poor clearance from Eastern Lions in a very favourable position for the Hellas. And a poor touch there from Pavlu in the middle of the park. A good win from Hoare. And Pavlo again turns the ball over. Josh Whalen helping him out on this occasion. And finally the referees do decide it is an Eastern Lions free kick. Sorry, throw-in.
Just ticked over the hour mark here at Lakeside Stadium. South Melbourne 1, Eastern Lions 1. Harrison Sawyer restoring parity early on in this second half. Ball lobbed up forward. It's going to go out of play, you'd assume. It's a corner ball. That's poor game management. Tried to shield it out of play. Did the number 5 in Jake Marshall, but should have played at it. And that's a poor and sloppy corner to concede. You wouldn't want something like that costing you. It's now on that far side. Rizuki runs over to take as well as Chris Drustas will go there as well. Are they going to look to play this short, perhaps? Pavlo runs over to try and cut that off. In the end, it looks like it'll be swung into the middle. It is from that right-hand side. And the corner ostensibly is poor. Can they keep it in on that far side? The answer is no. So a wasted opportunity for the Eastern Lions. And South Melbourne will have the throw. 61 minutes gone in this match. And it's on an even keel at the moment. Hard to predict which way this one's going to go. Sawyer flicks on, helped on some more by Henry Hoare. Surely a handball has to be given and is against Ziggy Rizuki, formerly of the Old Melburnians. And the quick switch of play may well be cut out. It's a risky one, but it's headed on. As Eastern Lions win back possession. It's out wide to their number 22, the substitute Aaron Fabris, who loses the ball. And it's hoofed forward, aiming towards Harrison Sawyer, but in truth getting nowhere near him. And it's an Eastern Lions ball on that far side, just in front of the South Melbourne faithful.
And South is trying to get a grip on some possession in the middle of the park, and they can't on this occasion. The Eastern Lions is trying to settle things down. And Harrison Sawyer with some great work from the front. Not only scoring goals, but doing his defensive duties as well. As you see the Lions with a chance here. They do turn the ball over, and Pavlu, a strong challenge in the middle of the park. And a heavy touch. Still falls in favour of the Eastern Lions. And just playing a ball into the corner. Calls for offside, waved away. And the Lions still with the ball on the edge of the box here. In a good position. And they'll put a ball into the penalty spot, but no attacking plays whatsoever. And an easy collect for Clark. Yankovic playing to Norton. Finds Harrison Sawyer. A great touch inside. And a ball through to Hoare. Takes a very heavy touch. We'll go through to Coulter.
He'll take the ball. It was good defending, calling his keeper to come and collect, and did so. Ball out wide now to Doyle. Lofts it forward, headed in midfield. They've just got to try and keep control of the ball, South Melbourne, and they do so. It's now Clark. He loses it. And now Eastern Lions could potentially break. Challenge from behind is too rash. And Adam Babkar goes to his pocket and awards yet another yellow card. This time to Daniel Clark. And all of a sudden these yellow cards accumulating a little bit. And there's a fair few names in Adam Babkar's notebook. Takes another one down. So a lot of work done for Adam Babkar. It's not got easy for him. Obviously in the game that you called last week there was a red card early on as well. So he's had to, award a lot of cards so far this season. It's a free kick taken straight down the middle. Well controlled. It's now Akhmeti who's had nothing to do. Shifts it. Now he's on his left foot. Plays out wide. Just in front of the South Melbourne fans. Ball played back. Now to Doyle. He rolls it square. Ball towards Rizuki. Won't get there though. It's cleared away from Luke Adams. Sawyer does well to hold the ball up, but it's well won from the number 17 in Nathan Sim. Ball out wide right. Slips and Drustas picks up the pieces. He plays it short. Nice turn from Georgopoulos. And the ball goes out of play for an Eastern Lions throw. Just looking to keep rid of the ball here, and they won't be keeping the ball with anything like that. It's a rash pass, and almost immediately, as an Eastern Lions throw is awarded, South Melbourne now have a throw on that far side.
And you mentioned Nathan Sim, number 17 for the Eastern Lions. Definitely a player to keep an eye on this year in the southeast Melbourne side. He's made the move down from Manly United in the NPL 1 New South Wales. A great side, and he was part of some good times there up on the northern beaches of Sydney. So definitely a player to keep an eye on. As we see shouts for a handball. Adam Bavkar just plays it on. It goes out for throw-in. And Sawyer with the touch, looking for Clark. It's a fair challenge on that far hand touchline. The South Melbourne fans starting to get restless. We've still got about 25 minutes plus stoppage time to play at Lakeside Stadium. You see Pavlu. Jankovic just overhitting his pass on this occasion. And the South fans just getting a little bit restless here, Ollie. They're obviously looking for that second goal. It's their first home fixture on a Friday night, and they're looking to come home after 90 minutes with 3 points.
Obviously, as you say, a lot of time to play, but stark contrast to the respective game last year. Obviously, it was also in round 2 here at Lakeside. It was 5-2 to the home side that day, and at the moment, they don't look as free-flowing, but Sawyer might look to change that. Good ball. Once again played out wide towards Hoare, who will keep that on. Has he won his side a corner? The South fans certainly think so, and the referee eventually agrees. Good bit of work there from Henry Hoare to draw the corner in front of the strong South Melbourne contingent that we've come to expect over so many years, not just in the NPL, but also in the NSL before that as well. Strong fan base in this country, and they're showing that in microcosm so far this evening. 23 minutes to go, and South Melbourne have got a corner from their left-hand side. Should be whipped in towards the penalty spot. Decent ball in, headed away from Nathan Sim. And Josh Wallen has time. Looks to whip the ball in. Decent delivery. Still a chance in the middle. And it's headed behind for yet another corner. Bit of sustained pressure now from the Hellas. And they've just got to deal with it, Eastern Lions. Whipped in once more. Another decent delivery towards Sawyer. Heads it down. And somehow the back post. It couldn't be diverted goalwards from Henry Hoare. That's what Harrison Sawyer is there to do to win the headers. Won it down towards Henry Hoare at the back post. And he couldn't divert it home for 2-1.
Yeah, and a great ball in there from Josh Wallen to earn the second corner. And an equally as good attempt there from Harrison Sawyer. He's already got himself on that score sheet tonight with the goal earlier in his second half. As we see Jake Marshall with a strong header, finding Clark. The chance to go forward. He has got Harrison Sawyer in front. Some good defending there from the Eastern Lions. It's not over yet as the ball comes in to the back post, looking for Hoare. And some smart play there from the Eastern Lions. Don't forget you can keep your comments coming through. Got Adam saying the first Pommy team in the NPL for many years. Would you like seeing the different cultural backgrounds in the NPL Victoria? Of course, South Melbourne being one of the big Greek clubs in Melbourne. And Pavlu. The ball looks wide for Luke Adams, who's advanced forward from his right back position. Cuts inside. He finds Whalen. Pavlu comes back to Marshall. Brad Norton is open out on the left-hand side. The fans screaming for the ball to be switched. The opportunity's gone now, and they go all the way back to Clark, and the fans aren't happy with this negative mindset from South Melbourne, as they're probably thinking. Sawyer goes to ground. Clark gets the second ball with a searching ball through forward. It's not over yet. Sawyer will get onto his left foot. Plays it through from Norton. Great save from Coulter. It's not over yet. Norton again. The second strike and the ball's cleared just shy of the goal line. And a chance gone begging for South Melbourne as we see one of the Eastern Lions players down.
Brilliant chance for Brad Norton. It'll look to have opened up for him on that left-hand side. You just expected the net to bulge, but Keegan Coulter stood tall, and it's the first real save he's had to make, especially in a one-on-one like that all night. Obviously, he couldn't keep out the effort from Harrison Sawyer, but that is a quite stunning save at point-blank range to prevent South Melbourne going in front for the first time this evening. It's got a little bit of a hold-up in play. South Melbourne possibly a bit frustrated that the little momentum that they were building has been halted somewhat. And the Eastern Lions bench may have to ready a change. The physio is out there. I'll check to see who the man down is. But a massive chance. I just thought for sure that once that ball was sprayed out to the left-hand side that Brad Norton would finish. Maybe not too prolific a goal scorer. Scores ever so occasionally from time to time, does Brad Norton. You just expected him to score there again. But it wasn't to be, and the player is back up and limping for Eastern Lions, and you should suspect that there'd be a change here. He's not in the best of ways, is the Eastern Lions man, who's hobbling and gone down over the sideline. It's number 18, it's Kostas Stradamitros who's gone down. And it's now a South Melbourne throw, back live, is into the middle. It's one down, it's not away. Could be a shout for a foul on the edge of the box there. Not given, towards the back post, towards Henry Hall. And it's gone out off of the South Melbourne man and behind for an Eastern Lions goal kick. Stradamitros not in a great way, just in front of us here on the broadcast side. And they are readying a substitute, but it won't be made yet. We'll be having a bit more play first as Ahmedi looked to go in, couldn't win the ball, and the referee gives a free kick. Ahmedi adjudged to have gone in with a high foot, and so that change will now be made. Stradamitros will be the man to be replaced, and on in his place is number 21, Gianluca Pizzarani, signed from Devonport in NPL Tasmania for this season. Played youth football at Kingston City. As it's flicked on towards the back post, left-hand edge of the penalty area for South Melbourne towards Sawyer, who couldn't get on the end of it and poke it home for a 2-1 lead. But Harrison Sawyer, you'd expect, is the most threatening for South Melbourne at the moment, as we just have confirmation of that change. As it's into the box, flicked on from Sawyer, chance for Clark. It couldn't quite break for him. He couldn't quite get the shot on goal that he desired, and Eastern Lions drive the ball forward out of their defence. It breaks for Ziggy Rizuki and played out of play from Luke Pavlo. Out for an Eastern Lions ball as Stradamitros is being helped off. He's hobbling, and that's a worry for the Eastern Lions. You never like injuries, especially not at the start of the season when you're trying to get all of your players gelled. And that's once again out for a throw-in on this near side for the Eastern Lions. I know we said at half-time that you thought South were just going to overrun them at the moment, Bryce. It's not happened as of yet for the home side, but still time for that to eventuate. Will Ellis now with a throw, the number 4 for South Melbourne. Time now for the goal scorer, Georgopoulos. Tries something that's blocked. He looked to play the ball into the middle, but it was charged down immediately from the substitute, Zach Bates, who got the assist for Harrison Sawyer's goal. Ellis with the throw again. Calls for a foul throw. Fall on deaf ears as Sawyer looks to keep the ball in. He does so, but only to the advantage of Nathan Sim, who rolls it square. Asks a little bit of James Doyle, but he deals with it just about. Now South have the ball, though, under a bit of pressure from the Eastern Lions players. Lobbed forward, and Clark will give chase. I don't suspect he'll get there. To try to body him as Doyle. And the ball's gone out of play. As there's another substitute, and it's another Eastern Lions change. Going off is number 9. Ardi Akmeti. It's been a frustrating night for him. And on is another ex-Dandy Thunder player in Sani Zajai. Went through the youth ranks at Dandy Thunder, and this is his first season at the Eastern Lions club. Eastern Lions Soccer Club. Let's see if that change can bring about perhaps a winner for the away side. Short ball on that left-hand side. Good turn from Hoare, who looks to advance. He rolls it back. Nice 1-2, and they work the ball forward here. Ball whipped into the middle towards Clark. It eludes him. Well worked there from Adams. He looks to advance. Breaks now for Pavlo. Out wide to Bates, the substitute. He rolls it inboard to Clark. Turning shot on goal is blocked. Bates. He tries to catch the keeper out, and Coulter was aware to it and claimed the ball.
And there only really looks to be one side that's going to poach a goal late in the second half with 15 minutes left on the clock. And it is South Melbourne with all the possession going forward. Harrison Sawyer really looking quite threatening. Daniel Clark getting very involved as we see Eastern Lions with a very cheap turnover and some great possession here for South Melbourne as the ball does come across. Looking for Sawyer. Does find Clark. Can he get a strike off? Does well to body check. Puts the ball across, and it will be a throw-in for South Melbourne. Deep in their attacking territory. Brad Norton, the South Melbourne captain, coming up high. He'll receive it again. He'll whip this ball across, and it will be a corner. Straight in front of the South Melbourne fans. We've got about 13 and a half minutes plus stoppage time remaining at Lakeside Stadium. This is one of many clashes tonight in round 2 of the NPL Victoria. All games happening tonight, bar one happening tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. at Paisley Park between Altona Magic and Avondale FC. Be Clark on the corner. He whips it into the near post. Gets a touch from the Eastern Lions, and Luke Adams will keep this one in play. He whipped the ball to the back post. The wind will try and hold it up off the head of South Melbourne, and it will be a goal kick issued by Adam Bavkar. Just touching on the other games that are happening at the moment. Melbourne Knights currently up 2-0 with Webb getting a double. 1 goal each side of the half-time break at Knights Stadium. We've got Hume City up 1-0 at half-time, courtesy of a goal to Josh Bingham. We've got the Bentley Greens. They're also up 1-0. Thanks to a late first-half goal, it is locked at 0-0 at Jack Edwards Reserve with Oakley Cannons in Heidelberg. And Dandenong City lead St Albans in the Croatian derby tonight, thanks to Nick Kalmar from the penalty spot in the 18th minute. As we stay with play, because there's another chance here for South Melbourne, and the corners, they are starting to bank up late in the first half here. The South Melbourne fans, they come alive with some voice, trying to encourage the Hellists to get another goal in the back of the net. Daniel Clark on this one again. Ball comes into the back post. And a chance there from Jake Marshall. Puts it out for a goal kick.
It was just hooked towards goal. You can just feel the atmosphere rising from that far side. You see the diaphanous lights, the noise rising, all adding together to create a wonderful spectacle in these final 11 minutes plus stoppage time. Everything just looking like the ingredients for a wonderful end to this game. It's been a good game in truth, a good advertisement for NPL Victoria football. Can there be a late winner? And if so, which side will grab it? Sawyer gives chase. Doyle will go with him, and it eludes the both of them out of play on that far side for a throw to the visitors. A point for Eastern Lions would be quite an unbelievable result, especially with the horrendous week they've had with the passing of their former coach, Jimmy Williams. I wanted them to show that fighting spirit tonight, and they're doing so up to now, but they've still got 10 minutes plus to see this out. Or maybe can they go and grab a winner themselves? Georgiopoulos does well to hold up, but loses the ball. Ball through the middle looking for Sawyer. Is cut out, but he'll get a second chance, will Josh Wallen. Whips it in, and it's headed away. And Georgopoulos hooks it clear. Header well run from Jake Marshall. Good turn from Josh Wallen, the former QPR under 23s player. Keeps the ball. It's Clark whose shot is blocked. And they'll just recycle the attack. It's Pavlo. He rolls the ball square to Jankovic. Ball whipped in towards Clark. Great ball. And well saved from Coulter. These chances are just multiplying at the moment for South Melbourne. And you just wonder if these missed chances will come back to bite them at full time if the score stays as it is. Coulter forward. Header won by Jankovic, who will win it again. Hooks it down the line towards Sawyer. He'll hold up the ball, or at least try to. And it's a throw-in for South Melbourne, with Zach Bates running over to take. The former Melbourne City youngster scored once in the National Youth League against Brisbane Roars under 21s as the ball's thrown in. Left-hand edge of the penalty area, shot is blocked and it ricochets behind. And Adam Bavkar believes it to be a goal kick. And Daniel Clark is furious because he was sure that he'd won inside a corner.
I think Daniel Clark has a reason to be a bit upset with Adam Bavkar. Probably the first mistake of the night. I think the deflection there was quite an obvious one. But look, Adam Bavkar's the man in charge tonight. And what he says goes as Coulter goes along with the goal kick. Jankovic, very strong tonight at the centre-back position for South Melbourne. Making the move across town from Bentley Greens, where he spent a number of years. And a chance here for the Eastern Lions to go forward. They've got some numbers and a strike. A little bit selfish, and Marko Jankovic just lets him know that it was a very average pass, I dare say. Was quite a selfish option there. He did have plenty of numbers in front of the ball. And the Lions straight on the back foot again. Coulter with a bit of a poor clearance out of his box as well now, and a ferocious challenge from the Eastern Lions defender. Will earn himself a yellow card, and it's in a great position for South Melbourne. 7 minutes plus stoppage time remaining at Lakeside Stadium. And you might be able to hear the South Melbourne fans not too happy with the man with the challenge staying down with a cramp. To be fair, a lot of these players are still getting used to the conditioning of match played. Is only round 2 in the NPL Victoria. It's been no secret that last year was basically a wipeout. Only 5 games played. 10 months off football. And it will be Daniel Clark to put this one into the box for South Melbourne. Let us know your thoughts of this match in the comments below, what you've thought of both sides, how they're looking. Can either side pinch a late goal at Lakeside Stadium? Adam Bavkar just settling down the box, and the ball does come in to the front post, and it's on the head for South Melbourne. Comes across, it's still in play. Comes back from Adams. Josh Whalen whips the ball in, and it's off the head and straight into the hands of the Eastern Lions goalkeeper.
Yeah, this pressure's mounting from the home side, and you sense that if there is to be a winner in this game, the home side will be the one to grab it. If we just look forward to next week, the Eastern Lions, they play away once more. It's Port Melbourne for them, as they've got the ball at the moment now. And South Melbourne also looking to play next week, as it's going down the line to Bates. The home side looking to grab a winner. It's Sawyer back to Bates. That's how to play. And their match next week, round 3, is also away. They play Oakley Cannons. So that's a tantalising clash that should get your mouth watering for next week.
South Melbourne will be very accustomed to Jack Edwards' reserve after a big derby win against the Burgers last weekend, 1-0. With Harrison Sawyer getting the score sheet again for South Melbourne last week and again tonight. Got just over 5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. The man with the number 5 on his back goes back to Pierce Clark, who goes long. No challenge there from South Melbourne, but they will get the throw in on that far side. They've got the chance to switch here to open play in Luke Adams. They find him eventually. Just having to keep it short. And we'll see Pierce Clark just keeping it short for Jake Marshall. Pavlou just dropping in the hole. And a front line of 3 for South Melbourne. Looking for Sawyer. Also Hall, the Queensland connection. Doing well, and this time Hall loses out. Rosicky looking to get the flick on. They play it short, and we've got Yankovic on the ball now. Very strong centre back. And Pierce Clark playing it short. Comes across. And it will be a corner. And maybe one of the final chances for South Melbourne to nab a goal back in the 86th minute. It's the usual suspects for South Melbourne in the box. Yankovic, Marshall, and Norton. And Harrison Sawyer as well. Bit of a different set piece lineup this time for South Melbourne. The ball goes to the edge. Bit of a scramble, and Luke Adams with a very ambitious attempt goes wayside for South Melbourne.
Yeah, Keegan Coulter has not dealt with any corner with any real, air of convincing nature about him. Not with any conviction. Is he caught a ball, or maybe once he's punched one away. But other than that, he's flapped at a few. And I think if South Melbourne get any more corners, they should look to, put him right on top of him, ask questions of him, and see if he can deal with them. But it's gone all the way through. And Adam Bavkar awards a free kick to the Eastern Lions. Neither goalkeeper has had too much to do. Obviously, Pierce Clark, you can't really complain by being beaten by a wonder strike. Keegan Coulter possibly a little bit disappointed that he didn't prevent Harrison Sawyer's equaliser. But Eastern Lions have got the ball. It's clipped forward towards that right-hand side. It's kept alive. Not according to the linesman. He thought that ball had drifted behind, and it's out for a goal kick. With 2.5 minutes to go, plus stoppage time here at Lakeside Stadium. The Hellas fans trying to will their team over the line. If there is to be a late goal, it will have to be very late. The goal kick is long. Breaks now for Drustas. He looks to switch. First time ball. Wasn't a great one from Sean Kenny. And it's through to Clark in the South Melbourne goal. Outside of his box, he clips it out wide. Sawyer flicks on. Headed away from the Eastern Lions, and Pavlo back with interest. Drustas the flick on. Neither side can really get the ball on the floor at the moment. And now when there's a chance, it's played forward from Adams, down the line towards Hall. Well dealt with by Will Ellis, and out for a throw for South Melbourne. Broadcast side in their attacking half. Throw taken short. In the middle. Chance for a header at the edge of the box. Could break at the back post, and it doesn't. It's hooked away. And Eastern Lions have just got to defend for their lives here. Show a bit of courage and fight and spirit just to see out a point here. South Melbourne is still looking for all three. Ball in towards Clark, headed away firmly. Attempted flick on from Hall. Clark does well. Nice turn. Ball played short, edge of the box. Shot on goal is wide. Bates. Left of Keegan Coulter. And maybe you'd sense that might have been it. It was the left-hand side that the ball went by. And that may have been the chance for South Melbourne to get the winner. It was to Keegan Coulter's right, but it went past the left-hand upright. Maybe that might have been it. Can Eastern Lions maybe get a winner? They're in behind, and the flag goes up. That was close. I tell you what, the linesman had to make a decision. You'd sense if he keeps his flag down, Eastern Lions have a golden chance to win it in the 90th minute. They're prevented from doing so by the linesman's flag.
There will be 5 minutes.
5 minutes of added time. That'll please the Hellas fans. There's no real roar that you may expect with an announcement like that. Hoare rolls it inside. Back flick doesn't really work out from Adams. Ball hooked away, attempted down the line, and it's out for a throw as we enter the first minute of the allotted 5. Adams with the throw. Central bounces off the face of Clark. There's a chance out wide left. He looks to exploit that side, and it runs out of play. It eludes the number 11, that being the captain Brad Norton, who's been on a yellow card for quite some time now. 4.5 minutes left to play in what has been a tantalising clash here in this round 2 NPL Victoria game between South Melbourne and Eastern Lions. There's still chance for a winner. You'd send South Melbourne are favourites to grab that if anyone, but Eastern Lions would be more than happy with a point, you'd sense. Ball forward towards Hoare. He flicks on. Adams gives chase. So does Harrison Sawyer. He slides, and he's unable to prevent a corner. Pierce Clark thought that his side were entitled to it, but it wasn't given. The Hellas faithful furious that this game isn't being restarted at a rapid rate. They still believe in their side that they can get a winner here. It'll be right at the 11th hour, right at the death if they can do so. A few boos emerging from that far side. A large South Melbourne contingent furious with the way that this result is panning out at the moment. They're looking for a late winner. Sawyer, he plays it short to Hoare. In behind is Bates, who is offside. And time running down. 2 minutes of the 5 have now elapsed. And all of a sudden, time is of the essence if you're looking for a winner. And these next 3 minutes will run like an eternity. If you're Kosti Pekasku, obviously it's his first, we're hoping that it's his first full season at the helm for Eastern Lions after last season was cut short. Hopefully this one doesn't. Replacing the now late Jimmy Williams at the helm at Eastern Lions. Flicked on. Headed away. Kept in play though. Hoare wins his header. Sawyer can't win his, but it breaks kindly for South Melbourne. Bates looks to elude his man. Which way is he going to give this one? He gives it a South Melbourne throw. Couple of minutes to play. Adams goes short. Appeals for a foul throw. Whipped in by Hoare. To the back post. Goes over the head. Clark looks to keep it in but can't do so, and it's out for a goal kick. 2 minutes to play here at Lakeside. Under the lights on a Friday night. Yanis Georgopoulos' early strike cancelled out by Harrison Sawyer, who has 2 and 2 himself. But at the moment it's not enough for the 3 points. Only one will be attributed to or distributed to South Melbourne, and the spoils will be shared. Will there be a late goal that can all change that though? It's Trustas on the ball for Eastern Lions. Can they maybe upset the apple cart and get a winner? The ball's on their right hand side. Trustas again. Chance down the right wing. They lose the ball though. As we're about to enter the final minute, there's a throw for South Melbourne. Goes down the line to Sawyer. He flicks on for Clark. He goes down. And it's a free kick given by Adam Bavkart. And you'd sense that this is last chance saloon. A free kick on that's left hand side for Clark. And this is it.
And it will be Pierce Clark to probably deliver the last set piece of the game. And it comes into the near post. Luke Adams just with a short stab at the ball. And Adam Bavkar does give a goal kick. Make sure you do catch the highlights tomorrow morning on the NPL Victoria Facebook page and YouTube channel as well, and also all the other fixtures too across the weekend. As we see Coulter just going long for this one. Coming to the end of the 5 minutes of stoppage time. And the last ball played forward, dealt well by Marshall. And that is full time at Lakeside Stadium. It is 1-1. It's not, that is a free kick. And probably the last chance of the game. And South Melbourne send everybody forward. Their coach Esteban getting Pierce Clark to put this ball long. And everybody bar Bates up on the edge of the 18-yard box. And it goes long. Yankovic will find his head. And a late shout for a handball in the box. Waved away by Adam Bavkar. And that will be full time at Lakeside Stadium for round 2. South Melbourne 1, Eastern Lions 1. And the South Melbourne players disappointed with that late call, but probably the right one. Just keep an eye on other scores around the grounds as well tonight. We've got Melbourne Knights. They have gone up 2-1 over Eastern Lions. And a couple of other games on. Bentley Greens and Port Melbourne 1-1 at half time. We've got Oakland Heidelberg 1-0 in favour of the Cannons. 1-1 in the Croatian derby in Dandenong. And don't forget to tomorrow, Altona Magic taking on Avondale FC. My name is Bryce Ruthven. Joined tonight by Oliver Pell from Lakeside Stadium. We will catch you again next weekend for NPL Victoria action on the NPL Victoria Facebook page.